So we are here for the 2022 NFL schedule, Week 18. There was the teaser if you watched Sunday Night Football. They teased it, the Saturdays, and they made you wait till Monday for an NFL Live, the shows. And ESPN has NFL Live and NFL Original released the times for their games in the NFL does. They already had them all set. But after what was going to happen, some scenarios. And they got them set now. So let's take a look here at the times. So at 3:30 at ESPN and ABC and ESPN Deportes, so those ESPN Plus. Probably we have. It might not be on ESPN Plus since ESPN is but who knows. And we have January 7th. And certainly we have Kansas City taking on Las Vegas at 3:30, and then the AFC South winners meet on ESPN ABC and ESPN Deportes. Tennessee and Jacksonville at noon on Fox. We have Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay already clinched their division. They clinched it last week with a win over Carolina Panthers. And there's nothing to play for. New England has a little something to play for. Though, honestly, though, it's all going to depend. Can they win? Or, more mainly it's at noon because Buffalo probably has nothing to play for. Depending on what happens on Monday Night Football tonight. Depending on what happens there on ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, ESPN Plus, ESPN Deportes. So, let's see though. We'll see. I mean, this is on CBS. It depends because Buffalo might get a free win in advance in the playoffs, so Buffalo wrestlers. Depending on what happens, we will see though. Depends what happens in the Kansas City game. Though, because they are fighting for the one spot along with Buffalo at noon. At noon as well. Minnesota taking Chicago. Minnesota had lost the 2 seed, but they lost the Packers. They're big, lost the Packers. And now they lost the 2 seeds, so now Chicago is going to be is just going to be taking Minnesota. Minnesota might just resters and forfeit the 2 spot anyways. But it's going to depend on what happens with San Francisco's team on Sunday. Determine if Minnesota can get the 2. Houston and Indianapolis and CBS at noon. That means nothing. Houston is it's already clinched it though. It depends on if they will get the win. If they win, they'll get the number 1 pick. Or if they lose, they'll get the number 1 pick. If Houston wins and the Bears lose, Bears will get the 1 pick. So it depends. Depends what happens. If both teams win, Houston will get the number 1 pick. If both teams lose, Houston will get the number 1 pick. If Houston wins and Chicago loses, then Chicago will get the number 1 pick. So we'll see though. And then Houston, Indianapolis means nothing though for playoffs. Just mean who's going to get a higher pick in the draft. Houston, Indianapolis on CBS at noon. At noon on Fox. It is New York Jets taking on Miami Dolphins. And this is actually going to mean something for the playoffs. The Jets are still in, but they still have a little bit to play for. not a whole lot to play for though. They gotta hope scenarios fall in the place though. With win, even if they win, Miami has a hope. Like for scenarios, what happened? Some of these games, though, I see what they're doing at noon. Though. They're putting certain times on to match up with each other. I see what they're doing here. CBS and Fox is actually doing. The NFL is doing these games. Unless you live in an area where you have to see another. Like what they're doing is they're putting CBS is New England Buffalo and Giants and Miami Dolphins because that game impacts teams. And both you can see both at the same time if you're in a national area. Because initially the news going to be the Jets and the Dolphins. Fox at noon is Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints. Means meaningless to them to win the division, as Carolina lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they are not playing for nothing. I mean, the players are still going to play all out, but means really nothing to like the team, the fans. Really just to get another step in right for next season. Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh did win. So it does mean a little of something for Pittsburgh. But honestly, it doesn't mean a whole lot for Pittsburgh. They got hopes and scenarios fall into place for them to get to 7. Cleveland, no, it was out. Even though they beat, because they're 7-9. I mean, maybe something can fall for them in the right spot, but I doubt it. And then at 3:25 on CBS, they're doing this where the Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles, the Giants have nothing to play for in the 6. They're locked in the 6. But the Eagles have something to play for with the 1, as Philadelphia has lost the last 2 weeks, so they had the opportunity to clinch the 1 against the Saints. They had the opportunity to clinch the 1 in the week before against the Cowboys. So, but they had a good chance, but they lost it, and they lost a stunner against the Saints at home. So it's kind of a surprise, though. We'll see, though, if the Eagles are motivated or fight for that one, or Washington has nothing to play for. So it's in the playoffs. But Dallas, do they have something to play for, though? They do. They have the 1 seed to play for. If they win, and Philadelphia loses, they can jump the 1. So we'll see, though. I mean, it's gonna be tough, though. It's gonna be tough. And then Los Angeles Chargers against Denver. Chargers. I mean, they have a spot to play for, like the 5 or the 6. But honestly, though, I don't know if they're gonna actually do anything in that one. I mean, maybe so, but who knows? I don't. I mean, it depends, though, really. So we'll see, though. Los Angeles Rams and Seahawks. That's something to play for. The Seahawks do it. The Lions. I think the Seahawks do actually win the tiebreaker over these teams. I think actually the Packers do win the tiebreakers over these teams. Actually, what the Seahawks have something over it is the Seahawks actually have to win and hope Green Bay loses for them to be in. If Seattle wins and Detroit wins, well, basically, if Seattle wins and Detroit wins, they're in. And the only way they'd be eliminated with a Green Bay win, Green Bay would automatically in. And now we got Arizona. We'll talk about it a little bit after Arizona and San Francisco. I mean San Francisco might be able to rest the Chargers with the win, even regardless of the win or not. Like they play, they might just rest their stars. I mean, honestly, if they can. I mean, the Vikings probably. They assume the Vikings probably are going to rest their stars. I would assume they are going to rest their stars. But I could be wrong, though. Honestly, I could be wrong with that scenario. I might be, but we'll see, though. San Francisco depend. Well, I would assume the Vikings are going to rest their stars anyways, because the Vikings are so banged up on both sides of the ball. Are banged up, like, it's crazy, you know? So, and then San Francisco might be just like, man, we can rest them. We don't need to play them go to when the playoffs healthy. You know, the Vikings needed to go on the playoffs healthy, though. So, that's probably the games that, because they're probably mostly going to rest their stars, the NFL soon. And for rightfully so. You can't blame them. I mean, the Vikings are, I mean, they're so, I mean, you see the Packers game, they're banged up on their third string center. They got two, three players to injuries in the game. And it was just like, and then everything went wrong in that game. It was like crazy, you know? And this is like, nothing went right for them. Which is like, which is just one of those games, you know, like they didn't do really nothing wrong. It's like no fault of their own, really. Like just one thing happened, and then there's just like tip pass, which is nothing to blame on just nothing to blame on anyone. It's just good defense, good playing by the defensive guys. The defense, Green Bay's defense, the defense. It's a good play right there. And stuff like that. So they just got good plays, and you know. So, and then on Sunday night is Detroit at Green Bay, 7:20 on NBC and Universal. And this one might not mean nothing for Detroit if Seattle wins. Detroit's out of the playoff. If Green Bay's in, if Green Bay wins, then it all depends on Seattle. Seattle's got to watch who's going to trade Green Bay. If Detroit wins, Seattle's in. If Detroit wins, Seattle's in. If Seattle loses, Detroit's in. Or Detroit's in Green winners in. If Seattle wins, Green Bay just has to win and they're in. If Seattle loses, Detroit and Green Bay both have a win and in scenario. And both teams are going to be playing their stars regardless. And both teams are fighting for playoffs, in the whole chance Green Bay, they're fighting for playoffs, but no matter who wins that Los Angeles Seattle Cup, then just Rams Seattle Cup. But Lions have to hope Seattle loses for them to play the stars and have a double meaning. And more, you know. And then Baltimore and Cincinnati. If Cincinnati wins Monday Night Football tonight, they will be playing at noon. If Cincinnati loses, they'll be playing at 3:25 Sunday afternoon, which could be realistic, because if Cincinnati were to lose Monday Night Football against the Bills, then Cincinnati and Baltimore will be fighting for the division, the AFC North. If Cincinnati is to win, then neither team will be fighting for the division, and then they'll be just playing backups probably, because Cincinnati probably mostly be playing backups, so Baltimore probably just be playing backups. And then Baltimore and Cincinnati. So yeah. Not just the NFL playoff schedule. What am I surprised about the NFL playoff schedule? I'm kind of surprised Tennessee or Jacksonville didn't get flexed to guaranteed Sunday Night Football. I am kind of surprised by it. Like, that's a guaranteed flex. Like, I'm surprised. Like, you would think they flex them guaranteed. Like, I can see if Baltimore or Cincinnati, not a guaranteed flex this Saturday or Monday. Because we're playing on Monday, so probably Sunday, but guaranteed flex. I can understand that one. Okay. I can understand that one, but like, so you put noon or 3:25, okay. But come on, Detroit, Green Bay, though. Like, Detroit might have 0 to play for, other than not Green Bay out of the playoffs. Plus, it's being on Green Bay's at home, so they have the advantage, They definitely have the advantage. Being at home, Green Bay does. So, we'll see right there. So, there's going to be 2, 3. There's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's going to be 13 teams. Actually, does Pittsburgh actually have a spot in the playoff? I mean, they have to have a lot happen, though. Let's actually look at the playoff picture, though. See who actually has a spot in the playoff. Still on the line. Yeah. And no, it is just in the hunt in the season the playoffs. On the bubble, so actually the Jacksonville and Patriots are in the hunt. So are the Dolphins, Steelers, and Titans. They're in the hunt. And then in the NFC, the Eagles have the playoffs. And then there's only a couple teams on the bubble. There's the Packers and Lions. They're both on the bubble, so that's 1, 2. So there's only a couple teams really fighting for that playoff spot. So there's only a couple teams fighting for that spot. See, I can't see Las Vegas still fighting for that spot. 2. There's 3. There's 4. And then there's 5 with Miami fighting. That's 5. 6 is Pittsburgh still fighting for a spot. 7, Philadelphia still fighting for 1. 8, Dallas is still fighting for 1. 9, Los Angeles Chargers still fighting for 5th or 6th. 10, Seattle is fighting to stay in. San Francisco, maybe not. 10. So maybe, I don't know, so maybe 1, 2, 3. Maybe Vikings, maybe not. They're not, maybe not really. They're fighting for the 2, but not. They're probably unrealistically going to get the 2 if they're lost. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maybe it depends. I don't know. So there's 13, if not 11. But there's 3 guaranteed games. Tampa Bay and mean nothing. Giants mean nothing. And Houston Indianapolis. Both teams mean absolutely nothing. There's games where one team means nothing. One. So who knows? Who knows? I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. On Sunday night, on Monday night, we'll see who makes the playoff. Like what seeds they're in and stuff like that. Kansas City most likely should hold on the 2, but Buffalo could lose though. So, and if Buffalo was to lose, Kansas City would just be the 1. So maybe that's what I put on the. So then Tennessee and Jacksonville could be like winning against NFC South, so that's a big game. That game means absolutely nothing for either team. For playoffs, that is. New England Buffalo. New England might get actually. Depends if Cincinnati wins. Oh, actually has their starters. So. Oh, so New England might not get a free one depending on either way though. I don't think New England's gonna get a free game no matter what. Ooh, so it's gonna be close. Minnesota's probably not gonna rest the starters, but they probably might get one, they might not. Either way, I don't think the Viking fans care, or Vikings care, they just want to win. They just want to be healthy for the playoffs. So yeah, this means nothing for playoffs. Maybe they need help from New England after the loss to New England. So, but that's going to be playoff game for mine. And it's nothing. Pittsburgh needs help, but playing Cleveland, so but so basically, if you don't count the games that need help, teams need help though to improve. You got 1, 2, you got 3, you got 4, you got 5, you got 6, you got 7, you got 8, and you got probably about 9. About 9 realistically. So there are a couple that are crazy, so yeah, but we'll see. But yeah, that's the NFL playoff picture. Week 18 announced on NFL. Last week of the regular season. And it's on to playoff football. It's on a playoff football. Like, who's gonna win? Who's gonna miss? Who's gonna be what TV channels or the games? The 8:15 or 8:15 Eastern Monday, January 16th is the ABC, ESPN Plus game, and ESPN Portuguese game, and the ESPN 2 p.m. Manning cast, most likely. And then it is who's gonna be the 4:30? What channel's gonna get the 4:30? What channel's gonna get 8:15? So what channel's gonna get the 4:30 Eastern Saturday afternoon? What channel's gonna get the noon or 1 Eastern Sunday afternoon? What channel's gonna get the 4:30 Sunday afternoon in the evening game? And what channel's gonna get the 8:20? Most likely, it's probably gonna be NBC on Sunday Night Football. They're going to keep them on their Sunday Night Football schedule. And is it going to be CBS and Fox splitting the games? Like, is it going to be there's going to be each team getting 3 in the playoffs, or in ESPN is going to be ESPN getting, there's going to be NBC getting 2 in the first round, and then maybe Fox or CBS getting 2 in the first round. One of them gets 2 in the first round, along with, say, NBC getting 2 in the first round, and then Fox and CBS, one gets 1, one gets 2, and then NBC gets one in the second round, and then the opposite. So if CBS got 2, Fox would get 2, and if CBS and if Fox got 2, if CBS got 2 in the first round, Fox would get 2 in the first round. And if Fox got 2 in the first round, CBS would get 2 in the second round. So that's probably how they're going to do it. I assume so. So everyone gets 3 games apiece, and then for the in the AFC Championship, is CBS gets AFC, Fox gets AFC. So they make it 4-4, and then 3 for NBC. And ESPN gets the Pro Bowl, so it's 2. And then if NBC gets the Super Bowl, that's 4-2. So yeah, it's at least 4-4-3 for sure. So that's the first way I can think about how they would do it. Games that are both networks that are both in the first and second rounds.